Konnichiwa, hello and welcome. This is Roy Ninja and today I figured I'd bring out and show you guys one of my Bionicle mocks that I have built. Although I never had the original Brutaka set growing up, I did order a bunch of spare parts, Bionicle parts off of eBay. That was over 10 years ago now, and I got Brutaka and Exxon masks, and got to work, and I kind of built my own mock, my own sort of version of him, and yeah, here he is. I call this one Makuta Brutica, and I kind of have my own story about how this one came to be. It's not an official story. It's and it's not canon to the actual Bionicle lore, but I got my story of how he got this form. So yeah, let's get a closer look at him and see how I built this guy and all what he features. And now, here he is, my Bionicle mock Makuta Brutica, and of course, I have him crouching down because it's kind of a signature pose I kind of gave him. I made this mock several years ago, maybe 10 years ago. I started on it, and didn't really look the same, but I mean, he looked similar, but I kind of changed up some parts and added to him. As you can see, he has this huge insect, flying insect thing attached to his back. That is basically, I'll explain more. I could get more in detail with that later in the video, so I'm gonna have to stand him up. I don't have him in a fuller view, and I'm gonna bring out my Tower Rock, my Fire Rock sheet to explain. This thing in the back right here, this basically not canon to the actual Bionicle lore. It's just something I made up. This right here is a Kraata adult, just like a Kraata slug that would go into the back of the Rockshi and basically control the Rockshi. So basically, this thing right here is, this is a Kraata in its larval stage. This is a Kraata slug. Well, in its adult form, yeah, also complete with a stinger. And yeah, there is a reason why it is attached to Brutaka, and it has this huge tube running from the Kraata adult into Brutaka's chest, or Makuta Brutica's chest in this case. And basically that explanation is something that I made up completely. It's not canon to Bionicle, but it can be canon to my own story. Makuta Brutica and the Kraata adult are kind of fused together. Got fused together in a cocoon by an experiment by Makuta Mutron, which basically takes the remaining mask from the dead Brutaka after he was defeated on Voya Nui, and basically does this experiment where he takes a Kraata slug and he basically forms it in basically puts it inside this cocoon with the Viscerac, and basically, it's sort of like how the Toa Hodika formed. This is kind of similar to how Makuta Brutica formed, and he came out of he basically resurrected Brutaka in the swamps of Katanui, and basically this is how he came out looking. In a completely whole new form. infused with the Kraata slug. And basically, the Kraata slug is basically what keeps Brutaka alive. So basically, they share a heart, technically. So basically, the tube is from the Kraata slug is basically the bloodstream going into Brutaka. So these act like veins, technically. And also, we do see how he has these massive wings on the back. They also become his swords. So yeah, I'm gonna try to raise him up to get a closer look, so I could explain more. So yeah, let me get right to that. And now, as you can see, I finally have him standing up. And he's really tall, so he's hard to get a full view in my camera, which just so happens to be my phone. But yeah, just to give you guys a full-on view of how this figure, could be a custom figure, but it's actually a mock. Looks from, well, boy's falling over, a full-scale view. If he stays up, yeah, he's really top-heavy. Yeah, this is how he looks. It's hard to turn him around without him falling over, but yeah, just giving you a closer look. And yeah, these are some signature feet I made for him. I believe the pieces right here, I know they're on a lot of like older Bionicle sets. I believe they originally came in like the Lego Robo Rider sets or something like that. And of course, I have some Toa Hodika feet at the bottom, using for the base of his feet, and I have some silver Borak eyes, kind of making up some toe spikes right there. And of course, I have it almost looks like he has something because he has a mastodon tusk on his feet. So if you, yeah, I know it's making you think of the Black Mighty Morphin Ranger. But yeah, that's kind of what I thought of when I first made that. Now, I wasn't really inspired by that. I kind of that's what it made me think of when I put these Toa Mata Gali hooks in silver on the feet, but they really make them look cool. So I left them on there, and also these pieces right here. These armor pieces, they are articulated as well. So these could kind of also act as like rocket boosters as well. So if he wants to lift off the ground and fly, he can. And also, I'm gonna bring the camera up so we can get a closer look at the upper body portion of the figure instead of me trying to finagle everything in one shot. So yeah, let's get a closer look at the top torso. Okay, now I finally got it to where I have it in a more stabilized view, where we can actually see what he looks like. Of course, this is Brutaka's mask. I don't have the actual original Brutaka set from 2006, but I do have the Brutaka mask, and I also have Axon's mask, which is also used on this custom mock or custom figure, whatever you want to call it. And of course, I also have, like, these were like spare parts, like I bought off of an eBay lot. So some of the pieces I did use in this mock are off the original set, like these armor pieces right here, like these gold Paraka armor pieces right here. So I did use those, and these were his feet on the original set, but these are his hands in his Makuta form. And of course, these giant claw pieces right here. Now, these were originally, I forgot his name, but on the green Baraki in the green color. But these come from the Thornatus V9 from the Glatorian story arc wave, so that's where those come from. So I took those off my Thornatus V9 with the Glatorian Chariot. And of course, if you look at him very closely, yeah, I do have some baby Viscerac for armor as well. I will get to that when I get to the lower body portion of the figure as well. But we can see one in the middle of his belly right there, and where I also have this rib cage made up of silver Toamata Onua claw pieces. Basically, this rib cage is. I'm gonna bring out Makuta Mutron just to give you guys a reference. It's this right here. I just put that right there. I'm gonna put them to the side. The rib cage right here is a reference to the Shadow Ball rib cages on the actual Fantoka Makuta sets. So that's basically what that is supposed to replicate, although it's not quite the same. So he's not launching a shadow ball out of his chest, launching shadow leeches out of his enemies. No, that obviously doesn't do that. So this one obviously doesn't have that play feature, although it does use the Fantoka Makuta, or Makuta Fantoka torso piece, and we have this huge piece of Baraki armor in the middle of his chest. That's basically where these huge the veins from the Kraata adult attached to Brutica. And of course these shoulder guards up here. Those actually used to be the the smaller lower hands on his smaller arms for the original set. These now serve as shoulder guards on Makuta Brutica. And of course, more baby Viscerac on his forearms, as you can see. So we have that. So yeah, basically this is he's basically made the new king of Viscerac, kind of. So that's why I gave him like baby Viscerac for armor. And of course, if we look at the neck, I'm gonna take his mask off so we can get a closer look at how I put the armor pieces together for his shoulder guards around the neck. I had these like two I don't really know what all of these pieces are called. I just use them. So these kind of like these clip pieces where they have these sockets for those axle pin pieces. So I was able to clip that in there, and I used these Robo Rider armor pieces, which are also found on the Exotoa, because I did dismantle my Exotoa years ago because I didn't really care for them much for parts for mocks. So yeah, I use that, and I connect this to here, and I put this axle clip into the ball joint connector for the neck, where I have it pinned to the torso, and I just clip it there, and that's how it clips to the neck. And of course, he does have the Paraka eye socks that's supposed to light up, but yeah, batteries are dead. And battery in this thing hasn't been changed, I'm guessing since 2006. So yeah, I'm not counting on it there. But anyway, as far as articulation, head can definitely look up because it's on a ball joint. So, and we can look down, we can look right a little bit and left, but it is hindered by like the pieces and everything, and the very large mask of Brutica, of course. Now, of course, we do have the Tilla Aneka ball joint, arm bone connector or limb pieces, whatever you want to call them, making up his arms, and I connect to his Toa Metru leg pieces for arms, and we do have a bend at the elbow, so we can bend those elbows, and we do have wrist rotation as well, because I mean his hands are on ball joints. I mean, anyway, I mean, because this is Lego. I mean, it's literally just like Technic Lego pieces. I mean, I'm not that big. I'm not technically that big of a Lego fan. I'm not technically that big of a. This is not a Lego channel. The only thing from Lego I was a really big fan of was Bionicle. That was the only thing from Lego I ever really bought that ever really appealed to me. So, yeah. But anyway, getting to the Kraata adult, where things get a little interesting. This, as I mentioned, this is a stinger, and it is on several ball joint connector pieces, ball joint axle, whatever you want to call it. Now, the way I did attach them, you see how I have the axle piece right here. I mean, I don't know if you could see it, connected inside the pinned inside the ball joint socket. That is not an official Lego building method. That is just a building method I came up with myself. It works, but like I said, for building competitions, I do not know if that's a illegal building technique or building method, but it's a building technique I use because not only does it help you connect more pieces together, but it also allows for more articulation. So that's why I use it, and because it's just allows. So basically, what it does is it takes the ball joint connectors, turns them into hinge joints. That's basically what it does. You're able to, daisy chain different ball joint connectors together and sort of make like different segments. So that's basically, why I did it. So instead of like me having to have like different limb pieces for the tail like this, I could just take these ball joint connectors and just daisy chain them together and just make several segments and just add some like pieces. See how I kind of like these, I have these like bladed spike pieces coming out of them, protruding, out of the side, because for like these spikes for the Kraata adult, like spikes coming out of the tail, like added detail. So you can basically add your own detail to it, so you could have like multiple articulation segments. So if that inspires you, for your own mocks, yeah, it's not that hard to do. Although, like, the only thing to take note, like on the newer ball joint connectors, like for like the ones that came with like the Hero Factory sets, maybe like the Bionicle Gen 2, like the reboot sets, those might not be compatible, but like the original ball joint connector pieces and the ones that started in like the Fantoka sets and like the Glatorian sets, those will work with this building technique. So definitely that's something you might want to keep in mind when it comes to making mocks. And of course, he's falling over. We also have some golden armor on his groin right there that I clipped on, which also came in the original set. Getting more into that Kraata adult. Let me give you guys a closer look at it. If I can put it down and turn it this way. So move these palms. Yeah, you can see how I kind of built like this sort of like insect-like head. He has these bug eyes and these silver spikes protruding out of the head. Now this piece, this actually glows in the dark. This is found on the mainly most common in the Baraki Takadox set. So if you have like the Baraki Takadox figure, or if you find like extra ones, yeah, you can definitely use that for make like an insect-like head, and I have this Pohatu new climbing claw, making up kind of like some pincers. So yeah, and also the head is articulated, so you can move it. And of course, if you didn't notice, this on the back right here, making a kind of like a sort of like a back shell, sort of kind of like armor. This is actually Axon's mask. I just threw that. I just put the like a bladed spike in the middle of the mouth of the mask, just for detail, because it fit. And basically, how it fits on is, I'll pull it off if I can. I have this ball peg piece right here on the Toa Mata foot, and basically all I do is just take the axle peg that's on the mask and just peg it right on there. So yeah, now it's kind of like turns into like this back armor. And of course, let me lift them up. And yeah, also we do have some more Baraki armor in the back as well, underneath the Kraata adult. And of course we have the wings as well on the Kraata adult, which also makes up Brutaka swords. So yeah, these do come off and become Brutaka swords, so you can take them off. I'll get into that later in the video. And also, as you can see, I have the wings attached with the Toa Hodika head connector pieces. I don't know exactly what you call those pieces, but I know like they originate in the Toa Hodika sets to make up the heads. But as you can see, I have the same ball joint connectors on the these same pieces, and I'm using the same building technique here to give the wings more articulation that I used here. So not only do they move on this ball joint right here, but they also are on hinge joints as well. So do have that, and as you can see, I kind of got like these spikes coming out of the wings made up of Barak teeth, and I also have some more Barak teeth coming out of like the front of like the body of the Kraata adult, where the veins are passing through, going into let me see if I can show them on camera, going into the back of Brutaka, and then out of his sides, and then back straight into his chest. So yeah, yeah, that's basically, it's hard to explain how I have everything connected. And of course, I know I never explained each set, but these giant pincer claws I have in the back, these are actually Baki claws, and basically they turn and become sort of his bottom pair of arms. So yeah, now he not only does he have 2 arms, but he also has 4 arms. Although not exactly even, but it does it does have a good range of articulation to where it actually, you know, lines up pretty nicely. Especially, you know, with the technique I used of turning the ball joint connectors into pinned hinge joints. So that's not too bad. But that is a building technique that Lego doesn't, or a building method that's not an official Lego building method. So just a quick reminder. But anyway, yeah, that's how he looks with the Baraki claws fully extended. So now let me grab the blades, and basically what you do is you take these cross pegs right here, and you just slide them right on in. I know this pieces coming out. That one has a QC issue for some reason. But anyway, yeah, I know his hip joints are loose, so he's gonna be leaning all over. So I gotta definitely be careful. I'm trying to get him in frame. So yeah, that's him with his blades in. He's about to. Nah, maybe I could put him sort of squatting down a little bit so I could get him in frame, so I could show you what his swords look like when he has them in hand. So trying to at least get that in focus. Not gonna lie, this is really hard to work with. So yeah, see those swords in. Yeah, we also can bring his stinger forward as well. So his stinger, explaining this, I do kind of have this small spike piece on his stinger. These around these armor pieces around his stinger are Viscerac feet. This sort of blade piece, I don't know, like this barb right here, I don't know what set that originates on, but all I know is I use it. So yeah, that's basically what his stinger is made up of. And of course, this is a black rock shield leg. So yeah, that's what basically makes up his stinger. So yeah, I'm gonna show you guys the lower body portion of the figure, and then get a more RL, and then get into like my final verdict afterwards. Well, not exactly a final verdict, just explaining more about him. So yeah, let's take a look at the lower body portion of the figure. And now getting back to the lower body portion of the figure, just to show you guys more detail. How I was talking about how I have the baby Viscerac pieces from the Bionicle play sets. I didn't really care too much for like the Lego, like the brick play sets, so I really didn't buy those. But these were like in the pieces that I bought like all those years ago from eBay. So I used them. Like I just recently added these. Like I've been having like these baby Viscerac laying around for like forever and never really did anything with them until now. So yeah, until like it hit me, it's like I can use these for like armor pieces. So I use them. The only thing is like the legs, they do rub up against like the armor that I have right there on like the groin armor. But that's nothing. They're very pliable, so it's really not much to worry about. So, but they do clip on, so all I gotta do, I put the clip piece in. So pull it out, clip that in there, clip this in, and then yeah, just gotta line it up correctly, and then yeah, not that hard to put in. Now these feet, they're not that hard to design either. I might just show you guys how to build those same feet in another video. So yeah, but I don't know if I'm gonna show you guys a full-on video on how to actually build this one, because that's gonna be very hard to do, because then I would have to dismantle this whole mock and then rebuild them, and yeah, that's just gonna be, to me, if you ask me, more of a pain in the butt than what it's worth. So yeah, unfortunately, I'm probably not gonna be able to do that. But anyway, yeah, that's all I got to say about this mock, and now I will get into my final verdict, or giving you guys my final opinions. So yeah, guys, that is my one of my custom Bionicle mocks, Makuta Brutica. Let me know what you think of him in the comment section. Rather not you like him, rather you think this custom build is cool or not. And also the giant insect on his back. That was actually inspired by a Toho kaiju from a Godzilla movie. Actually, the second Godzilla movie in the Millennium series, matter of fact, that this is inspired by this giant insect right here, the Kraata adult. It's actually, if you get a good look at him, if I can get him on camera, it's actually inspired by Mecha. So that explains like the giant stinger it has, and these giant claw pincers. So that's basically what gave me the idea for like the insect. Now this is all like ever since like when I first started making them, like I had the idea to give him like a giant like insect thing for like that gave him like a second set of arms, but it never really had like a name. So until like I really thought about it, and I was like, you know what, this could be like the adult form of a Kraata slug that controls the Rockshi. So yeah, it just fell out. So this here is the basically not canon to Bionicle lore, but it's just something I made up. Is the adult form of this thing outside of a Rockshi. So basically, that's what that is. If I could, yeah, I'll just put that back in later. It's hard to put that back in the Rockshi one-handed. So yeah, that's what that is. In case you're wondering. And yeah, I think this one's cool. I've been fidgeting with him all day yesterday. It's been quite a while since I broke out all like my old Bionicle stuff, but I might bring out more of it. It's just all in my closet. I got a lot of some of them I got to put back in their canisters. But one of the reasons why I really haven't been collecting Bionicle sets in recent years is not only because they went up in price, is because some of these ball joint connector pieces right here, yeah, they're notorious for breaking, and then you gotta get them replaced, and then Lego's not making Bionicle anymore, so then you gotta go on Bricklink and this and that, and yeah, it's a pain in the butt to deal with unless you got like a 3D printer to where you can get like 3D scans of the actual parts, and then you could like print out replacements yourself. So yeah, and obviously, unfortunately, I don't have a 3D printer, so that kind of sucks. So yeah, if a piece breaks on me, I'm screwed. But yeah, that's my custom Bionicle mock, Makuta Brutica. Like I said, let me know, what you think of them in the comments section, and yeah, that pretty much concludes it. So as always, love you all. Stay safe. God bless. Stay positive. Stay powered up, and peace out.